This is not a video I wanted to make it. We got robbed. In a split of second, we lost everything. This channel suffered its biggest drawback ever. The spark for this channel started in 2016. I always thought history was important and studied. But a trip to Pompeii, which was meant to be a simple vacation, ended up changing my life. Walking through these ancient ruins, I felt that these people living thousands of years ago were us, or just like us. And they knew something that we forgot. That was the Mos Maiorum, the way of the elders for the Romans. From that moment, me and my wife decided to spend our free time learning more about the Roman Empire and create his very own YouTube channel. Since then, we traveled to Italy, Portugal, France, Greece, Germany, and England, always searching for Roman ruins and sharing what we can find. Now, our daughter comes along with us, experiencing the places of her ancestors for the first time. And while I show her and everyone on YouTube the statues that the Romans did exactly for the purpose to be displayed to the newer generations, I feel a sense of accomplishment, and that the life of these people who lived thousands of years ago had meaning. And it will be the same with us thousands of years in the future. But for all the places from Europe, the obvious place we hadn't been was Spain, one of the most important Roman colonies, which had so much of Roman history connected to it. We're excited to visit Barcelona and explore the neighbor Roman city of Tarragona, or as the Roman knew it, Tarraco. We brought our usual equipment, MacBooks, cameras, drones, and more. We're always cautious and only use our equipment in safe areas. We're used to it, as we visit many countries which had problems with crime. But what we didn't expect is that the hardest parking lot inside of the Barcelona airport to be a dangerous place. Our car was booked to be returned at 10:30 p.m. The parking lot was hard to find, poorly marked, and with bad lights. It was deserted. No cars, no people, just an eerie silence. My wife, daughter, and I started unpacking our belongings. I left them to find someone from Hearts, thinking it was safe. But I had no idea what was about to happen. While I was gone, just for a few minutes, a strange man approached my wife, speaking some poor French. She felt uneasy, but tried to answer while keeping an eye on her luggage. That's what when it happened. He distracted her for a few moments, and one of her backpacks was stolen. The backpack contained our cameras, laptops, and all other valuables. When I was back a few moments after and realized what just had happened, I felt unsettled and angry for leaving my wife and child alone in what should be a safe environment. We immediately searched for security, but there was none. No Hearts employees, no guards, no police, no nothing. The Barcelona airport was practically abandoned to the mercy of the thieves. We felt helpless, with no one to assist us. Using the Apple Find My, we saw that the stolen devices were still at the airport. The devices were moving around the Hertz car park. I left the terminal trying to find the items, fought and confront the thieves, but they could be armed with knives or guns, and without any police or guard around, I could be killed that night. While I was gone trying to track our devices, another man approached my wife and daughter inside of the terminal. Again, this other man looked suspicious and asked something strange in French. She screamed at him to leave, and thankfully, nothing happened this time. After that, we decided we need to report the incident to the police, but there were no officers at the terminal too. We only could find an information booth. The woman there said that the only way to get the police is to take a bus, which will pass in 20 minutes, and take another 20 minutes to get to the Terminal 1 of the airport. There, you can find a police station. On the Terminal 1, again, the terminal is full of homeless people living there in cardboard boxes, clearly not tourists. The terminal had no guards or police inside, but after asking around, we finally discovered that the police station is at the far end of the airport in a hidden corner. We found a closed gate there and an intercommunicator. My impression is that the police is hiding there possibly because of all the crime in the surroundings, But anyway, we managed to contact the police over the intercommunicator, and they let us in after we tell them that we got robbed. We managed to file the report after a few hours after it occurred. While we were waiting in the police station, a man walked in, clearly upset. He had just arrived from Switzerland and had been robbed only 5 minutes after reaching Terminal 1. He told us he was using an ATM when someone distracted him. Before he knew it, his phone, his wallet were all gone. He kept pacing back and forth, shouting, "Where's the police? Where's the police? Why no one is out there? The police is just hiding here?" His frustration was clear, and we all felt the same helplessness. We couldn't say anything to comfort him. What could we say? We were just there, shaking, sitting with our own stories of loss. His anger and distress felt all too familiar. We tried to do everything in hope that we can get back what was taken from us. I showed the policeman that our devices are in a neighborhood still in Spain, still in Barcelona, and I could track them in real time using the Find My from Apple. None of the cops spoke English, so we had to use a translator app on the phone. We eventually discovered that the police couldn't do anything because it wasn't within their jurisdiction, which we found strange since it was in Barcelona city. Once again, we're hit with a crushing sense of helplessness. To illustrate my point, I will leave a short clip of the director of COO of the El Prat Airport in Barcelona, Paul Mena, talking about the subject.
Aleshores, aquí en l'aeroport tenim uns horaris molt intempestius, entrem a treballar molt d'hora, a les 4 de la matinada, acabem de treballar molt tard també, i doncs a la zona del pàrquing doncs, patim situacions d'exhibicionisme, que la gent fa les seves necessitats arreu, pels passadissos, i en particular les treballadores pateixen situacions de violència verbal i agressions, que hi ha algun cas d'una agressió sexual.
We asked Hertz, the police, and the airport administration about the surveillance cameras, but in reality, when we were there, we saw none in the parking lot. No camera, no security. To this day, we don't know if any footage exists. No response was given to us. Hertz ignored our emails about it, which is something unthinkable to us, as my daughter and wife were alone in this parking lot, in a dark environment and no security. How come Hertz and the administration of El Prat Airport in Barcelona be so careless, even after they had cases of sexual assaults on the premise? As a tourist, you don't expect this kind of thing, even more for Europe, even more from an airport. So if you're considering to visit Spain and expecting to have a nice time, I urge you all to reconsider. An airport is a doorstep into a country. If you come to the point where the airport got to this stage, this country doesn't want you as a tourist. And indeed, that's the case in Spain. We saw several protests a few months ago where the local population asked tourists to go away, and at the same time, refugees are welcome. Our stolen items are now in Algeria, in North Africa, as we can track some of them with Apple Find My. And I can only guess that this has something to do with the refugees. And also, when you rent a car with a company such as Hertz, you're under their protection when you're renting or picking their car. It's their job to make sure you can safely pack or remove your belongings or their car. The same way I ask you to reconsider going to Spain. If you plan to rent a car, think twice about choosing Hertz, because you can maybe put yourself and your family in an unnecessary dangerous situation, because this company, just as Spain, don't care about you. We mention this because that evening, while we were trying to find the entrance to the Hertz parking lots, we asked staff from other rental companies for direction. It's important to note that other companies had staff available late at night, but Hertz did not, and their parking lot was empty. This experience shattered our sense of security in what we thought was a safe environment. We never thought something like this could happen to us until it did. Tourists are basically people which want to spend their hard-earned money to see your country. You rent a car to feel safe with your family on a trip. When reputable companies like Hertz don't care more about you, I think we finally reach a point of no return in Europe. And countries which are not fighting this change like Sweden, Spain, don't deserve your visit, your time, or your money. We live in Europe, and I can see the things getting worse and worse. But some countries still give you some hope, like Italy, fighting this unbelievable situation in Europe. If you want go somewhere, please at least go somewhere and choose some company where the people still care about you and your family. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and aware of your surroundings. If something similar has happened to you, or if you just want to share your thoughts on our story, please leave a comment on the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Hopefully, next time, with a happier story. TP grátis a Gu.